I'm going to list 5 reasons why people feel less than optimal at the end of each day or less effective than they would otherwise like to. Now, the benefit of this particular video is I'm going to offer a tip after going through each one. So the first one is we start our days with no plan. So often, so many of us, regardless of our profession, start a day without a plan. So if you're in the business of communicating with clients, you should probably have a plan of connecting with 5 people where you're looking to strengthen a relationship live and 5 people where you're trying to build a relationship or get them to start doing business with you live. Now, there's lots of things that have to happen to make those conversations live happen, meaning emails and calls to try and reach those people. But that's not what we're talking about. We're just talking about setting the plan. So what we're saying, number one, is start your day with a plan on what you'd like to accomplish by the end of the day. Thought 2 is people do not work from lists often enough. At the end of each day, we make a list. It's called a tactical list. Nothing special there, but it's a tactical list of all of those things that need to be done tomorrow. When you have a list and you've checked off everything on that list, you tend to feel much more comfortable that you accomplished what you were after accomplishing. Let those lists be filled with those things that need to be done to help you execute on your plan. Step 3 is use time blocks. If in fact we're going to use the plan that I suggested, 5 live conversations with relationships, 5 conversations with people who are trying to build a relationship. That may take 20 calls here and 20 calls there. Maybe that's what happens. I would suggest, if I was coaching you, if I was working with you, I'd probably suggest 4 45-minute time blocks. You would need 10 calls to be made during the time block to get these calls going. You need 2 of those, so 20 calls total, and you would need 10 calls in one time block of 45 minutes and another 10 calls to be made in the other 45-minute call. That allows for some flexibility and follow through. That allows for you to input the meetings in or input the conversations in your CRM. I highly recommend using 4 to 6 time blocks a day, anywhere from 15 to 45 minutes per time block. When we do that, we tend to be way more effective. Challenge number 4. And this is a big one because it has more to do with self-management than time management. And so does number 5. So number 4 is we allow too many interruptions in our day. Modifying or working through interruptions is a hard thing to do. The best way to handle them is go back to number 3, is if you are in a time block, you do not let a distraction or an interruption get involved, get in your way, get in your wheelhouse. Like I said, it has more to do with self-management. Interruptions, distractions do happen. Notifications disrupt what's about to happen or what you're about to make happen. If we're in these shorter time blocks, we tend to be much more effective with them. 5 is called creative avoidance, and it's a huge problem in today's world. Creative avoidance means I know I have to do this, but this thing's also important too, or maybe I'll do that instead. Or when we have these big blocks set up from our plan, then our lists, then we have these time blocks. Creative avoidance goes down to a minimum, and in many cases it's eliminated. It's also called the shiny object syndrome. I know this is the big thing that really drives revenue for my business, my firm, whatever it happens to be, but this shiny object over here is important too. Maybe I'll pay attention to that for a little while. When you're in these time blocks, it allows you to execute well. Keep working on these things. They do over time become part of who you are. And when they become part of who you are, at the end of every day, you've not only accomplished more, you feel like you've accomplished more, and you have a clear brain. Good selling, everybody.